Give us a little bit of background about you, kind of your career, and kind of lead us into embracing social media the way you have, and then where really, storytelling natural, something you focused on, something that you knew you had to do. So yeah, let's just give a little intro for everybody tuning in.
Sure. I actually live in London, Ontario, which is, if you guys know where that is, it's about 2 hours from Toronto and about 2 hours to Detroit. So right there in the middle there, small town girl. But I got into real estate with my dad as my mentor about 15 years ago. And I started out selling country properties and farms. And it kind of goes right into where it took my career to this date, because when I got into real estate, it was really difficult to sell homes. I mean, I think we can all remember when it took a year sometimes to move a property. It was a buyer's market for years and years and years, especially in the area that I'm in. And my biggest frustration at being an agent really early on was the calls I would get from my clients going, "Hey, what are you doing to sell my home?" And it was just the worst feeling because you knew this call was coming and you didn't have any solution for it other than maybe an open house or a price reduction. If you've heard me talk before, I remember writing in the London Free Press, which was our local newspaper, you could write a little blurb and pay for an advertisement to advertise your listing. Other than that, there really wasn't any other options. Radio wasn't even that big for real estate back then. Magazines were, once a month it would come out, and it was an arm and leg to pay for being in that subscription. So the solution to their question was really, really hard on me. And I wasn't until I found Facebook started becoming popular and posting your listings on Facebook really dates me when I say this every time I say this, but I really remember posting my first listing on my Facebook and I was actually embarrassed to do it. I'm like, oh, what are my friends gonna think? Because it was just that uncommon. And I remember getting that first DM, not DM, it was my first Facebook message going, "Hey, my cousin's looking for a property that looks really great. Can we go check it out?" And it was just this like aha moment in my head. I'm like, "Ooh." And my whole thought process was I can go back and tell my client, "Hey, I found a way to get more views on your property, to get more eyes on it." And that really snowballed into me taking really hard advantage of Facebook to begin with. I added friends, cousins, cousins of cousins, and my Facebook now has 5,000 friends, but like a following of over 7,000 people of just Facebook, by being proactive of just trying to get my properties in front of more people. And then obviously when Instagram and YouTube and all those things became more popular, it transitioned over there. And the whole goal was just to answer that question to my sellers, what are you doing to get my house sold? And it's like, I'm doing everything. I'm getting as many eyeballs on it as I can. And it really helped me keep my listings long-term and secure them. We've all lost a listing and been canceled as a realtor, and it sucks and it's not fun, or you've had to deal with those phone calls. So that was the whole premise of where I took my business to it is to now. And then when video marketing really became popular, getting in front of the camera, I will say I shot myself on camera 3 times and deleted it immediately. I could not post it. I thought the way I sounded, the way I spoke, the way I looked, I could not get my ego out of the way. I literally made the videographer just strip me out of all the videos, and I would just do a voiceover to begin with because I really wanted to show this property in a different light than just a virtual tour. But it was hard. So anyone that's just getting into video, don't like it's like one of the hardest things I had to do was get comfortable in front of the camera. So give yourself a pat in the back if you have. And then that moved into just trial and error and perfecting kind of what I've gotten up to now. And it's nowhere near perfect, but it's a hell of a lot better. I would say, even from 12 months ago, just being very strategic and paying attention to all the algorithms and the time watch has been able to get my position even way further on than where it is now. I'm not even sure if I
Yeah,
answered that question.
no, that's perfect. That's perfect. Being able to kind of bring us up to kind of where we're at today. So talk about the storytelling side of things, because it doesn't sometimes come very natural for a lot of us. And was that just a natural thing for you just early on in school and just being able to craft and tell stories, or is that something that you've just really focused on in the last 12, 18 months?
No, I think I've always been a good storyteller, a teller. It's kind of how I communicate. It's one of the best ways. I feel that how you build rapport with somebody or get someone to trust you. I think storytelling and being relatable and listening to other stories and then, that's one of the best ways even to get clients cozy with you. So the storytelling starts even in the negotiation process and the prospecting process, leading up to actually telling their story. But it really started out by connecting with my sellers, and you have had those really important properties that were very sentimental to the seller, and it's that emotional process that you want to make sure you really share that with the people that are buying it. And I think a lot of it really started, John, was when I had to sell a lot of unique homes. Like I said, I started in country, and it's really hard to put a value on a property that has something that is priceless. And a great example would be a house that was built by stone from the 1800s, and all the wood stairs in it are, never could be duplicated again. And what's the value on that from a prospective buyer? And how do you establish that in your marketing and in your sales to get somebody to pay top dollar? So it really started in telling the story of a unique home, bringing history into the videos to make sure that's appreciated from the consumer right off the hop. And the other flip side of that was also showing my clients another level that I'm able to connect with them so they feel like I'm doing a really good job. Like in the beginning, I made these videos for my clients for them to see that I showcase their home in the light that they told me about it. And that made me feel really good because at the end of the day, it's all about the client. And even if the house didn't sell or whatever, I was still going to be able to get those referrals and everything because they know I went 110%. But as I really realized the power of this, it morphed into, okay, it's not just about the clients. How can I attract the perfect buyers? So when I was telling the stories, I wanted to share their story, but I wanted to make sure that the perfect avatar I was talking to was going to see this video, be attracted to it, reach out to me, and purchase the home. I think we all can agree that 99% of homes are sold online now. If the photos are terrible, it doesn't even matter. Like that first 3 seconds somebody clicks on that property or watches that video, you only have a very short window to sell them on it. And with the stats being that high, you want to make sure that what you're selling is really identifying that property in the best value. And sometimes you got to spin it on a story to get people to attract to that. So that's really where the storytelling started for me, was trying to secure my clients, make them feel like I'm doing the best world-class job, and then morphing it into, okay, who am I actually attracting here? And let's tell the story that's going to best represent that property to attract the right buyer